She is a PhD student at Monash University in Management Department. She's doing all these amazing work related to immigration, and with a particular focus on the Middle East and also female immigrants. So thank you so much, Farzaneh, for having me and giving me your time. I would like to start our interview by asking you to tell us about yourself and about your journey, and then after that tell us about what you do and what you're passionate about.
Hi, my name is Farzaneh. Thank you so much for having me, for being part of your project. I'm a third year PhD student at Department of Management in Monash University. I am doing research for immigrant entrepreneurship, focusing on Middle Eastern immigrant in Australia. Apart from that, we're doing a research with the Monash staff about Middle Eastern employees, their employability, which is granted by Monash University, and the result is going to be amazing. We're going to publish the result in a very good workshop, and so to let the public know about the results. When I came here, it took me a couple of months to decide about my thesis project, and I communicated with some of my communities people. I found that Iranian community in Australia are very isolated, and they need some, like, not as from the education part, but a very broad perspective that they need more attention from government, from education, from variety of aspects. And then so we start working with our community leaders, so finally we come up with the idea of immigrant entrepreneurship, which is great. The participation of Iranian were great. We had around 400 participants for this study, and this was my first step, my first step of education in Australia. This is how it goes, and I feel like, sorry if I'm still continuing on the first question.
No, that's okay. Keep going. Keep going. I'm going to go back to this question again, and I ask you actually to go further deep.
Thank you.
So yeah, keep going.
So I believe what seeking you. So when I first come here, as always, I wanted to be very positive, wait for opportunity, just see the good things coming to you, and then see what you can do especially for my community. And then so this was what I was doing, and then I'm still doing other projects for female immigrant, more specifically for Middle Eastern immigrant, and I'll let you know.
Everything you're doing is amazing, Farzaneh, and I really appreciate the opportunity that you're giving me to come here to the Monash University, being in the Management Department campus, to listen to your stories and everything that you guys are doing in your academic area. I'd like to ask you about your journey to come to Australia. You tell us about when you're from Iran.
Yes.
And that's pretty much giving you sort of a pathway and a guideline, I'd say, to focus on Middle East and Middle Eastern women. So tell us about your journey. When did you leave Iran, and then what happened after that to come to Australia? Because I know that you have this amazing, incredible journey and story that that would be very beneficial for the audience to hear.
Yeah. I'm born in Iran, in a very small city, and then I have my bachelor in English. And after my bachelor, I moved to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, studied my master of business there. And my project was focused on compensation, employees' compensation, which was great. The same result as we have here, but the focus wasn't on Middle Eastern. I wasn't really familiar with this subject. And then I I'm also in an entrepreneur family. My father is one of the greatest entrepreneurs. I don't. I've done some entrepreneurship in our family business, so it was busy for a couple of years there. And then with all the experience I had from there, and then being tested for more education, I moved to Australia. I had a very great offer from Monash University, and then I had this great scholarship, and then I started for this project. Right now I'm doing some TA work and also RA, research assistance for my research team. I'm also the co-author of this project, the new project, and I am happy for the next opportunities.
I love that. You're another perfect example of intelligent and smart woman who doesn't sort of stop when there is an obstacle and a challenge on her way, and then just create opportunities as she goes. And I'm really grateful to hear about all your stories. So tell us about the challenges that you faced. You know, when you left Iran. Did you mention when you left Iran?
Yes. I graduated 2011, my master, but I was here on 2017, February 17. You talk about challenges. As I said, I'm always trying to be positive towards things coming to me, but the challenges that I face isn't from outside, but it's from somehow inside, like some personal challenges. As a mother of 2 kids, I born my second kid here in Australia, and when I think about it, the pressure, the difficulty, I'm somehow proud of myself.
You should be. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, and then basically, the challenge is for me it was from my personal life, pressure of all this family work, and then the study, what I'm responsible for TA, RA contract, and then there's also other thing that I'm always thinking as the lifestyle. When you move to Australia, their lifestyle change. Most of us are very comfortable, good lifestyle in our country, and then when we come here, we have economic pressure. I mean, beside the emotional pressure, we have to be separate from our families, having nobody here. So these are the challenges, at least for me.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow! It's immigration and starting everything from scratch is a big challenge, and it's always great to hear from role models like you, how you overcome these challenges, and despite your difficulties leaving the family and also the comfortable life that you had back in Iran, to just seek for other opportunities and see what's outside the country is offering for you as an opportunity, is something that you considered, and you took this challenge on board.
Yes, that's the hard part.
So tell us about what helped you to overcome these challenges.
Well, I feel like I should have been moved from Iran long before, even from my bachelor, because there are lots of opportunities, lots of opportunities for you to grow. So why not start earlier? I mean, every day when I open my email, sometimes I see some interest in my projects. I've had some interest from Education and Training Victoria. I have some interest from different organizations, government or public. This is what makes me happy. This is what pushes me every day to do more.
Wow.
Yeah, that's I think amazing. That's what we live for. That's what we seek for, right?
Yeah, well, that's exactly. I agree with you, and I think from what I hear, you're saying that when you have a goal and when you have a particular passion and you're actually on the way to achieve your goal, and then you're not just receiving all the sort of praise and appreciation from other people outside your circle, that you're working to show interest in what you're doing, is something that gives you energy and drives you
to move forward because you see the demand and you see that the work that you're doing
It's
has got.
appreciated, yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's great. But I must say, look, definitely the work that you're doing is such a valuable work that, of course, out there they're going to see how amazing that is, and obviously the demand is also something that defines it. So tell us about some of the lessons that you learned about your journey, leaving the country and then move to Malaysia, and then from there come to Australia, starting a family outside the motherland.
Yeah.
So some of the lessons that you learned throughout this journey, share with us.
So as I said, the lifestyle changed. For me, changed completely. I was just a student in Malaysia, but here I'm with my family, with
Yes.
2 kids. I'm responsible for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the support from my husband,
Yeah.
but that's the only thing we can get here. Yeah, so it's quite challenging, and it's not easy. You have to push yourself every day. I mean, you have this routine things like cooking, cleaning, putting kids, doing groceries, and it can make you feel bad, make you feel sad, but you have to push yourself for the opportunities coming, for the demand that I said, as you said,
Yeah.
that you see. It's just, this is the way of life.
Oh, great. So am I allowed to say that the lesson you're learning is just pretty much find the balance and don't criticize yourself if you feel like you're not doing enough for your family because you have another great goal that you want to work on it, and then family is also your priority. So finding a balance between these two things, and then
finding this balance would amaze everyone. I have we have sometimes meetings with my local friends. They're saying, why would you do that? It's so hard. Why would you do it with kids?
Yeah.
Okay. That's something that I asked myself very earlier before I come to Australia. Yeah, that's, I mean, you choose your life. You can just have an easy life, comfortable life, but nothing comes out of easy life.
Yes.
That's what I believe.
I love that. It's just, I think that's the best lesson. Nothing comes out an easy life. I like that. It's very good. So you have already mentioned that what you do differently if you go back in time. You've mentioned that you would start earlier.
Started earlier from a bachelor, because I know I had this. I mean, I had the passion already. I could do it. I see in myself the project I've done for my master. If I had the supervision, the opportunities here, I'm sure it would have more demand, would be more appreciated in Australia than what I've done there. I put my time, I did my work, but still it wasn't that much. It didn't get where it should get. Yeah, so I really wish I would have moved there. So for those who are thinking of doing something for their life, yeah, I would have advised them to just do it very early as possible. Any minute.
I think it's very important that you first know what you want to do, and I think because you knew you were very passionate about education and research and deep, dive deep in a certain concept. So that's something that you have the patience, and you have the talent, and you have the skills. So that's the pathway that you knew that you want to go through that pathway.
That's true.
Great. All these things that you're saying, it's just challenging, difficult, running a family at the same time, doing all this high-level academic work, teaching at the university, which is not an easy thing to do because it's got such a high standard, and also the research that can lead to a massive project for the government or private sector. So these are very, very demanding work that you have, as well as running your family and keeping your relationship. What keeps you motivated and just stay on track?
I think future for my kids, some part of it. I can say part of it for myself.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when you come from a developed country, like not developed country like Iran, that you know that you didn't have these opportunities.
Mhm.
When you come to such a developed country,
Mhm.
you would appreciate it more,
Mhm.
and you will just push yourself, as I said.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is keep me going. I didn't have this thing there, so
Mm.
why not use it? I have the greatest supervisor. I mean, each minute I'm with them, I'm learning a lot from them, especially with the project I'm doing with them. I'm learning a lot each minute, each meeting. After each meeting, it's like I'm learning for a lot.
Mm.
That's
Wow. So you're just being grateful.
yes.
I mean that gives you that energy and that motivation to just keep going and don't stop because you feel this is an opportunity and I'm being grateful.
Yes.
And it's not just something that you've been granted because you've been granted. It came from hard work. Good on you. It's amazing that everything is just so inspirational and great to hear. So as an academic researcher and someone who's doing a lot of study and trying to understand the life of immigrants, and particularly the immigrants who are coming from the region and they might not have necessary access to the resources that the modern society have access to come to this new land. Do you have any particular advice or suggestions? So from the personal point of view, as someone who came from that region, and also I want you, if it's possible, to separate it, and also from an academic perspective, in a sort of a more focused. Do you have any advice? Do you have any advice that can make maybe the life easier, or if you see it in a particular way because of the nature of the work that you're doing or the type of person that you are? What advice do you give to the immigrants?
Well, most of it obviously depends on yourself, but you need the support. Your partner, your husband, or anyone who's accompanying you here. Sorry. But I feel like you should most rely on yourself and your goals, and no one's gonna do your job somehow. I mean, and when you earn something, that's for you and for your good of your family. It's somehow the conclusion of all our conversation that I suggest to just sit back, sit on the table, as this is the we always say sit on the table, and then make the decision. See your goals. I always see my goals like from the top of the window, hold myself up and then see it from up. And yeah, I'm trying to keep up myself to see my goals. So yeah, always keep it in mind, keep it in your mind what you wish for, and yeah. What you seeking you. That's what I always say.
I like that. I wanted to ask you, to share with us your favorite quote, but I think
that's it.
this
From
is your
Rumi.
favorite. Yes, your favorite quote that you mentioned that twice in our interview. Thank you so much for your time, Farzaneh, and I really appreciate your advice, your time, and also the wisdom that you shared with us. And look forward to read the outcome of all this amazing work that you're doing, and hopefully we get some practical aspect that can be shared with the immigrant society and immigrant communities in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I can't wait to share the findings and our new project in the coming project with my community and also the more broader